Uh, do they have a lot of cases there, or do you feel pretty safe?
I mean, the cases, there's not as much as other places, but obviously increasing. But we live in a nicer state and we stick to ourselves, so I don't feel in any danger.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. How about you, Peyton? How are things going?
They're good. I still I go outside and exercise and everything every day. I just woke up, so I'm in my pajamas. um, but I can't believe everything is closed as much as it is. So it's kind of a little crazy. Not like Conrad. I was like, wow, when Conrad
That's
just.
the thing. I don't know why they're going like that. Like it's ridiculous. But I mean,
Have you seen that on Netflix? Have you seen the pandemic documentaries? Have you watched those? Either
no,
one?
I haven't. Should I?
Yes. I was like I'll like watch one. They're only like 20 minutes at night. They're like incredible, and they like knew things were gonna happen. It's just like a matter of time.
Mhm.
But it's crazy to see like how it gets traveled and through animals. It's kind of gross, but you know, it like educates you. So
Vision.
yeah, watch it. It was crazy. It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I mean, thank goodness that the disease is not as bad as it could be. I mean, there's a lot of diseases out there like SARS
Yeah.
or MERS or Ebola. They're much more deadly, and thank goodness it's not this time.
Yeah.
But
That's why I think we handled it so wrong, don't you think? We should have never stopped the country. Should have never stopped anywhere. Should have just kept on going. If you got sick, you go home.
well, the problem is that the healthcare system can't handle it. Yeah, people should, if they're sick, they should go home. But I think the median incubation period before you show symptoms is about 5 days. So that means that there are 5 days that people are wandering around that have the virus and are spreading it and they don't know.
Yeah.
So it's just really, really tough. So looks like, is that Josh? Did you join us?
Hey, Professor. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Are you working?
Yeah, I was. I was doing some interior for construction, but they ended up canceling today.
Okay. All right. Well, their loss is our gain. So I had some other replies back, and but they can. Oh, here's Stephen joining in. So we'll just let people join as we get going. Here. So thanks everyone for joining. This week here in California, they're saying that or in Southern California, this is going to be like the worst week to possibly catch it. So they said stay in if you can. So hopefully all you can follow those directions. So this is can you all see the screen, by the way?
Yeah.
Good. We're in week 13, and we've slowed down quite a bit in terms of our pace. We probably would have been on this module a couple of weeks ago, but with everything going on, we're kind of slowing things down and lessen the workload a little bit. Today, what we're going to do is there's a few things. Our main thing is to go over module 9, and we're going to go over that project demonstration on a Mac. So for those of you that are on a Mac, we're going to go through that. And I just did it again this morning on my Mac. And you can do everything except for the very last item, which is saving your file a particular way. So hopefully that'll be, we'll get through that pretty quickly. So that, I think it's worth 8 points. So you'll get credit for that at the end of all this. So not to worry, but you should be able to get at least a 92 on your worksheet. So I think all of you have completed this survey, but there's still probably about a dozen or so folks that out of my 80 students that haven't taken the survey yet. and I think it has to do with where it went to. So I'll show you how to find that. I want to make sure you understand how to communicate remotely, so you don't feel so disconnected. And I have there's a new tool that I'm using. So if you want to schedule an office appointment with me, you can do that through something that's called Calendly. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and then we'll get into module 9. Is there, 1 second here. I am going to,
Perfect.
Yes.
Really quickly, for the last project, by any chance, the grades were not fixed, were they yet?
Not for module 8?
Uh-huh.
No, not yet.
Okay.
But I will fix those.
Okay. Thank you.
There is a way. I'm going to mute. There's a way for me to mute all of you. Manage participants. Here we go. I'm going to mute you guys. So just unmute your phone so I don't hear the background noise. So just unmute your phone as soon as you have a question. So that way we can, folks don't hear the background noise. All right. Okay, so then, yeah, that's what we're doing. So upcoming assignments, someone on the survey, somebody asked, hey, can you give us a checklist of what we need to do each week? So here's your checklist. It's pretty similar to what I've been doing before, but I have these little check boxes now, so you can check them off as you do them. So this week, what's due Sunday night is the Module 9 project, which we're going to go over today. And then also do the Module 10 exam, so the training and exam. We're going to go over Module 10 project next Tuesday, so you can see this is kind of the cadence for everything. And then where the project will be due Sunday night, and the exam that we'll be covering the following week, which is actually our last module, we'll go over on a Zoom meeting on Tuesday. So plan on Tuesday. We'll go over Module 10 exam. It doesn't, there's a couple of tools in there that I don't think we're going to be able to use on a Mac. So I've been researching to figure out which ones we can use and which ones we can't use. So hopefully we'll be able to get everything done, just like Module 9. So for those of you who have not done it already, I really would like 100% compliance with the pandemic survey that I sent out. So I extended that to tonight. If you can't find the survey, contact me, send me an email, and I'll send you a direct link. Each survey goes out to your email address, and for some of you, it's going into your junk email inbox. So here's just a picture. So you normally have an inbox, your sent items and your draft items. And if you click on this arrow down here where it says folders, there's also a junk email inbox. You can see down here, this is just a snapshot. I have 44. Let me just find where's my Outlook? Pull that up here. So when I'm in Outlook, if I click on my junk email, you can see I get a ton of junk email, and for whatever reason, everything that I send out or comes from Marymount, or that I send out, Marymount thinks it's junk. It's been doing this for years for me. They can't figure out how to fix it, so I always have to keep going in and check all these things. Anyway, oops. Sorry, if you're trying to talk, you can unmute yourself now. So this is where you'll find it. So somewhere in there, you should have a survey from me if it didn't go to your inbox. So please check that. Any questions on this? Nope. By the way, I think there's a way to Isn't there a way to raise your hand? There's like an applaud. I can never remember where it is. I'm still learning this tool. There we go. Good, Josh. Where is that? Josh? Do you know where that tool is? Oh, there. I'm seeing in chat. Oh yeah, chat. I can't unmute myself because I hosed you. All right. Can you talk now?
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah,
Right.
it's just in the bottom under reactions. It's next to chat, record, and then reactions on the.
Okay. Okay. I don't. Yeah. I guess I don't get reactions on mine since I'm the host. So anyway, so just do that. I'll look for that and I'll stop if you have a question or something, or just speak up. I think everyone should be able to unmute themselves now if you need to. All right. So that's that. Okay. I love technology when it works, and this is a kind of a cool tool. It's called Calendly. And have any of you used a tool like this before? I think Appointly is one. Some of the professors are using that, like Patricia Chambers and a few other folks. But basically, what I'm going to do is you'll see in my emails. There's one here. Hang on a second. Maybe it's here. Too much going on at the same time. No. Let me just go to my Calendly tool. You will see this out of the way. So I'll send you a new email. In fact, I'll do that right now. Find my class list here. The heck? Not letting me send. Well, anyway, I will send this out to you later. When you get this, you'll get a link, and you'll get a screen that looks like this. So if you want to schedule a 15-minute meeting with me or a 30-minute meeting, all you have to do is just click on the link, pick the day that you want. My office hours are now going to be generally 10 until 2. Monday through Thursday, except like on Tuesdays when we're having our Zoom meetings. And so like if you wanted to, one of you wanted to schedule a meeting with me, you just click on the 8th and you just pick your time slot, let's say 12:15, and then click confirm, and then put in your name and all that kind of stuff. And then you can schedule that event, and then I'll get the invitation and we'll have our meeting. Make sense? Okay. All right, so that's that. And what else? That's the office appointment. How to communicate while working remotely. Most of you are using email to communicate with me, which is good. A lot of you are asking like very specific questions, like, I don't understand why I got this one wrong, this item wrong. Well, I can't see what's on your screen. I'm not sure what it is that you're doing wrong. So I've been Zoom meetings with folks, and you can actually pull up your screen, and I can look at what you're doing and then see what you're doing exactly wrong, and then I can help correct it. So the best way to, if you really are having an issue, is to schedule a 15-minute meeting with me, and then we can go through it and figure out how to solve the problem. Okay.
All right. You're 3-1 favorite. So this is the match.
Okay. All right. So you guys ready to get into Module 9?
Yes.
Let's do it. So Module 9 is probably one of the most interesting ones, because you get into this complex problem solving with a tool called Solver. And Solver is actually something that you're going to be using for those of you that are business majors later on. Professor Belize uses that in his class to solve problems. So learning it now will help you for his class later on. He just shared this with me, the problem that he gives to students. Any of you have Professor Belize right now? No? Okay. So that's a solver. We'll do some data validation rules, which is when you enter data, sometimes you make mistakes, and this is the way to help prevent data entry people from making mistakes. Okay, so I'm going to go into my Marymount. Yes, I'm still here. Oh, you're there. All right, so under my Marymount, under resources, content, you're going to find all of our modules. We're going to go to Module 9, and we're going to download the files. So press start. Oops. I'm on the wrong thing. Sorry. Try that again. I was on the exam, not the project. There it is. Go up here. It says Module 9 is not compatible with Office for Mac, which is not really true, except for the very last item. You can't mark the file as final for some reason on Macs. So we won't be able to do that item. All right, so now I'm going to download files and open them up. Close that one. It's helpful to have both of these guys. Oops. Oh, here's Professor Valise's problem that he gives to students, and it's actually the last one. 4C's open solver. So you're going to see something like this later on. All right, so Bartlesville Swim Club. Oops, looks like I got it open twice here. Close that one. Close that. All right. going to see if I can keep both of these open at the same time. We got to make you guys smaller. Can you see both screens, both the Word document and the Excel document? Yes? Okay. You're not on, by the way, you're not on mute anymore unless you've muted yourself, I don't think. Oh, you're still on mute. Sorry. I'm making you all mute. There you go. I'm just unmuting all of you. Oh, hi, Stephen. I'm just unmuting all of you. Mute yourself if you want to. All right. Okay, so we've opened the file. I'm going to save my file as the _2. I put mine here. I'll put it in class 2. All right, that's saved. Gotta figure out another place to put you guys. All right. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do, it says this project requires you to use the solver add-in. If this add-in is not available on the data tab in the analyze group, or if the analyze group is not available, install solver as follows. So I'm going to go to the data tab on mine. I have solver installed. Sorry, data tab. It looks like this over here. You can see the right-hand side of your ribbon. Does anybody have solver already installed on their files? Yes? No? Okay, so let's figure out how to do that. So it's different on a PC than on a Mac. So you can do it in both. So on a Mac, the way you find solver, it's on your developer tab, I believe. Yeah. So go to your developer tab. And you're going to click on the add-ins. So over here where it says add-ins. Oops, no, this is not it. Excel add-ins, this one. You should have, it says add-ins available. Do you see this where it says analysis tool pack and solver add-in?
I don't have the add-ins thing, like the developer. I don't see the developer.
Okay.
I only have like data review and view.
Data review. Okay. So then, okay, that's good. We'll figure out how to do that then. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to, let me cancel this. I believe it's over on, you're going to go to Excel, and then choose on preferences.
Mm-hmm.
And then choose ribbon and toolbar.
Mm-hmm.
And over here it says choose popular commands from, and it says customize the ribbon. Do you see where it says down where it says main tabs? do you have a developer?
Data. Yeah, all the way at the bottom.
So check that box.
Okay.
And then you can close this out and then look at your developer tab and see if it's there now, or on your data tab. I'm sorry, go to your developer tab. Do you have a developer tab now?
It's like after view.
Okay, good. And now you can see the Excel add-ins.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good. So check the boxes. Check them for both analysis tool pack and solver add-in. I think we just need the solver add-in, but you might as well have the analysis tool pack added to your software as well. So that's it. We're going to come back to that in a second. By the way, Excel has a whole bunch of add-ins. You can see I've added some things like I have a print merge here, some maps, which is what I've been experimenting with. There's Excel Stat, which is a statistical package. There's like a store of add-ins, and you can see there's all kinds of different things that you can add to your Excel files that'll do different things. Symbols and characters. Anyway, data, if we just click on data analytics, these are a bunch of data analytics tools. So as if Excel didn't have enough features, there's software out there. Most of these are free. I don't know what Bubbles is, but anyway, it's just a fun way to interact with data and using Bubbles apparently. So anyway, if you ever want to play around with these, there's some cool tools out there to use. All right. So we've added in. Follow any remaining process, install solver. So if you go to your data tab, you now should see the solver. Do you see the solver there? I don't see you guys anymore. There you are. Are you seeing it?
It keeps on muting us. So.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Hang on a second, I think. All right.
Professor.
Yes.
So I had to I went to the store and just searched solver and I added it, but it just came back on. It's not on the tab, the toolbar up top. It's just split with my my project.
Does it look like? Let me see. Where's my?
I don't know. Should I click X to see if it pops out on the toolbar?
View data. Does it look like this? Is it this one that you installed?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Does it have a, yeah, it has a light bulb.
That's it. All right. So this is just another, I guess, whatever reason a company installed it. What I would do is there's probably a place to X out of it.
Yeah.
I would use the solver so you'll be able to follow along the way that I showed it before.
Okay.
So go to your Excel preferences, ribbon and toolbar, go down to under the main tabs and check the box for developer.
Okay. Yeah, it's checked.
Okay. So then go up to your developer tab and then choose Excel add-ins and check the boxes for analysis toolback and solver add-in.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. All right. For whatever reason, I lost you guys and I can't see you anymore. Where'd you go? There we go. All right. So we've solved the solver problem. Now we can get into our scenarios. So we have Luisa Torres. She's the general manager of a swim club in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. So I guess they swim in Oklahoma too. And you're the office assistant and you're helping Louisa gather and analyze financial data. And she's asking for your help in completing an Excel workbook that contains errors and is actually missing information. She wants to make it easier to enter the correct data and determine the financial effects of changing the rates and schedules and swim lessons. So go to the swim lessons worksheet and correct the first error in this worksheet, which is a divide by zero error as follows. So we need to go to the swim lessons worksheet. Make it a little bit bigger here.
Were we supposed to do anything with the solver, Professor, or just put it there?
Just leave it there for now. We're going to use it. It's going to be one of the later tasks, I think. Where is it? Here. Yeah, this one here, number 12. Okay. By the way, for if anybody was looking at the video on the PC, I apparently when I was recording the video, people were having problems, so I hit pause and I never turned it back on until I was all done. So people are like, what did you do? I missed all the good stuff. And so anyway, you'll see the detail here today. All right, so you can see we have divide by zero error on row 15. So if I click on it, it's showing me it's B14 divided by B8, and we got to figure out why are we getting this divide by zero error. Well, what happens? Can you divide a number by zero? No. So it's an error. It's mathematically impossible. So we got to figure that out. So we're going to go over to our formulas tab, and we're going to use the trace precedence arrow to find the source of the error in cell B15, the income per guppy class. So you can see here, it's actually trying to divide B14 by B8. So I'm going to go over to the formulas tab, and we're going to trace precedence, something that comes before. So if you click on that button, it shows you kind of like this blue dot and then a blue dot here, and then pointing to like where the formula is. And you can see that it's actually dividing the route. The reason why we're getting a divide by zero error is instead of pointing to B7, they accidentally put B8. So that's an error. You can't, usually when you get a divide by zero error, it's pointing to a cell that has nothing in it. So we're going to fix that. Change that to it should be B14 divided by B5, right? Because it's income per session. So if there are 6 sessions, it should be that whatever 93 or 1930 divided by 6. So we're going to fix the formula and change B8 to B5 up here on our tab, and then hit enter, and we no longer have that error. So then you can just grab the fill handle and drag it across from B15 over to F15, and that fixes all of those.
Professor, I had the same problem. I did the fill handle, and I'm getting the same numbers for all the cells once I drag it.
Um, are these absolute for some reason?
No, they're not. They're just it's B14 and B5. I grab the fill handle, drag them across to F, and I get the same numbers across.
So when you click on C15, what formula do you see?
And C15, I have C14 divided by C5.
Which that's correct. And then D15, what do you have?
D14 divided by D5.
And it's not showing you 229.
No, it's showing me 321.67.
So these numbers must be the same up here. What do you see in C4 or C5, and what numbers in C5?
In C5, I have 8.
Okay.
Then I have 8, and D5, E5, I have 8, and F5, I have 6.
And then in C14,
C14, I have 1,130, and C14, I have 1,810. D14, I have 1,835. Next one, I have 2,235 and 1,945.
and your formula is equals in C15 equals C14 divided by C5.
C14 divided by C5, correct?
And the equal sign is in front of it.
Yeah.
I can't figure. We'll have to skip this for now, and then we'll come
Okay.
back, Josh.
For sure, no worries.
All right, that's strange. Okay, so now we've corrected the formula and we've copied the formula, so we can move on to number 2. Correct the name error in B18 as follows. So you can see we got this # name, and I get this little warning sign. If I click on it, it can sometimes tell you what's going on. So we're going to use the error checking to determine the source of the error. So we're going to click on error checking. And B18 should calculate the average income per session. Correct the error by editing the formula in cell B18. So this is a name error. Help on this error. So for Mac, the name error signifies that something needs to be corrected in the syntax. So when you see the error in your formula, resolve it. Okay, so it's not real helpful, but if you look at it, so if I click on it and then if I look on the formula bar, remember our formula bar?
Mm-hmm.
We got a couple of issues here. We have equals and then the @ sign and then averages B14 to F14. So so the name means that there's a syntax error, and this is the syntax. So is the formula for average or averages?
Average.
It's average, so we got to get rid of that S. Let's see if that fixes it. Hit enter.
You have the @ sign.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Did I put that there, or did it?
I don't have it.
You don't have it? Okay, so make sure there's no average. So it should say equals average B15 to F15. And then I hit enter, and then I get a number of 276.17.
Yeah.
Good. All right, that's number 2. Let's go to the session enrollment worksheet. Let's make this a little bigger. This is where
Professor, quick question.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
getting also the divide for B19. I don't know. I feel like did I download the right worksheet? It was under module 9. I'm getting a divide, the same error that we had in B15. I'm getting the same for B19.
Well, you can use your trace precedence and
Okay,
see
for sure.
what's going on. What do you see?
I'll check right now. So I have trace precedence. It's starting from B15 and going down.
B15 and going down. Okay.
Yeah, so it's let me see. B5. Yeah, so it just shows the income per class, and then the formula is average B15 F15.
In B19,
Yeah.
and it says equals average B15 to F15.
Yeah.
It looks something's weird going on with your file. I don't understand why it's making these mistakes. It's the same one. Hopefully you don't have any issues on the next tab.
Okay, we can
we'll
continue. I can stay a little bit after if you want.
Yeah, great. Okay. So on the session enrollment worksheet, make it easier to add the correct session enrollment information, add data validation to the range B8 to F10 as follows. So we're going to highlight B8 to F10, sorry. B8 to F10 as follows. The cells in the range B8 to F10 should only allow whole number values greater than 0. So basically what we're doing is imagine that you're going to ask someone to enter data for you and you don't want them to make mistakes. So to help reduce the number of errors, you put some parameters, some constraints on it. So like you can only enter whole numbers, you can't enter fractions or decimal places, which is what the first thing is saying. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our data validation. Sorry. Sorry, I just needed to, we're going to go to our data tab. Again, highlight B8 to F10. We're going to go to our data tab and we're going to go over to where it says data validation. We're going to click on the down arrow and then choose data validation. And we have settings, input message, and error alert. So first is the validation criteria. We want to allow any value? No, we want them to be whole numbers. Okay, so they have to be whole numbers and they have to be greater than 0. So greater than is already highlighted. Now we're going to add an input message. This is basically telling the data entry person what you want them to do. So add an input message using session enrollment as the input message title. So we're going to type session enrollment as the title. And then we're going to enter the message, which is enter the minimum, average, or maximum enrollment per lesson type. I think I'm going to try to copy it so I don't have to type it all in. Including the period, but not the space afterwards. I'll get rid of that. So to copy. Get rid of that space. Sorry. I'm using Instacart. Have you guys use that service? Sorry, it's just...
Yeah, I used to work with work for it with my girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it a good job? Yes? No?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, every time I would come to Alaska and we would just work together. And since it was usually snowy, it pays pretty good and they tip pretty good too.
Cool. Cool. All right. Sorry to interrupt. Hang on one second. Okay. So we've added the session enrollment error input error message. I need to go back to my data validation. And we're going to now put up an error alert in case someone does make a mistake. They're also getting an alert that they made a mistake. So we're going to click on error alert, and there's different values that you can see. It says show error alert after invalid data is entered. When user enters in invalid data, show this error alert. Stop, warning, or information. And they want this to be a stop. Warning looks like that. Information looks like that, right? So we're going to put stop, and the title of the error alert is going to be enrollment error. And the message is going to be session enrollment must be greater than 0. So I'm going to do OK. And now this little section is set up. So let's say the minimum session enrollment is, I don't know, 10. But I forgot to put the 1. I accidentally put a 0 here under C8. I put 0 and hit enter. I'm going to get enrollment error. Session enrollment must be greater than 0. Retry, right? So this is basically saying that I made a mistake in entering the data. So that's what this does, data validation. You don't want anything there. But you can see if you hover over any cell, it'll tell you what we just put in, enter the minimum, average, or maximum enrollment per lesson. All right, make sense? All right. If you wouldn't mind waiting 1 second, because Josh, as you know, I guess our stuff is out of stock, and so the Instacart person is texting me.
Looking for a replacement?
Yeah, for replacements, and I don't want to get distracted like this. So I'm going to hand this off to. I'm going to delegate this responsibility to someone. So I'll be right back.
No worries.
All right, you can talk amongst yourselves.
Hey, how much have you guys done so far? I just got in here.
We just started like the first 2, bro.
Oh, swear. So like I'm not that far behind.
No, you're straight.
All right, for sure. I'll hop on right now. Module 8, is that which one it is?
9.
9, okay. Ever since we haven't been doing this stuff in class, I've been falling behind.
I feel you, bro.
All right. Okay, still there?
Yes, sir.
Looks like Harrison joined us too. Hi, Harrison.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Okay, so we were just on number 3. We're going to go to number 4. Louisa thinks the club can make as much as $2,000 in income per session from the otter lessons. Use GoalSeek to determine how to achieve this goal as follows. So all you business people out there, a lot of this is about maximizing profit. That's kind of the nature of business. So we're going to figure out how to do that using GoalSeek. So Set the maximum session income for adolescent cells D15 to 2000. So where's D15? You can see here, it's at negative 265, right? Because it's when they're in parentheses, it's negative. All right, and there's already a formula error, which is D10 times D4. So where's D10? D10 is 12, maximum session enrollment, and D4 is empty. So we don't know what that is. And then minus D5, which is the expense, right? It's your total revenue minus your expenses. So we got to figure out what do we want to charge in order to maximize. So in order to do that, we're going to click on cell D15, and then we're going to go up to goal seek. That's on our data tab. And we're going to, over here under what if analysis, we're going to choose the down arrow. We're going to click on goal seek. And the set value is D15, and we want that to be $2,000. And the cell that we want to change is this one, D4. You can just type D4, you can click on it, whatever is easier. I guess it defaults to an absolute version, which that's fine because it doesn't have to be absolute in this case, but it's okay if it is because we're not copying or pasting it anywhere else. So we're going to click OK and watch the magic. All right. So if we want our maximum session income to be $2,000, and we know that we have maximum is 12 sessions, we would charge $189 per session. Okay. That's number 4.
So where was that at? Did you click format? Or where was it? Insert. Oh, data. Okay.
Yeah, under data.
Got it.
And the what if analysis. Yep. Mm-hmm. Number 4 or number 5. Louisa also wants to make at least $620 in income per session from these SEAL lessons. Use goal seek to determine how to achieve this goal as follows. Set the minimum session income for SEAL lessons, cell C13 to 620. So I'm going to click on C13. And we want the minimum to be 620. So we're going to go over to goal seek. And C13 should be 620. And the value that we wanted to change is this empty one right here, C8, minimum session enrollment. What's the minimum in order to make our minimum? I'm going to click OK. So we need to have a minimum of 5 sessions. So that's okay. And number 6, Louisa wants to average $1,200 in income per session from the Guppy lessons. Use goal seek to determine how to achieve this goal as follows. Set the average session income for Guppy lessons, cell B14 to 1,200. So I'm going to click on cell B14. And that needs to be 1,200. So I'm going to go to what if, goal seek. B14 should be 1,200. And the changing cell is going to be this guy, B9. I'm going to choose OK. And there we go. Our average session income is now 1,200. And we would have the average to be 10. And now we have our little table filled out. Any of you guys ever taken swim lessons?
Yeah.
You start out as guppies,
Mm-hmm.
and then wind up dolphins.
God.
All right. So anyway, that's what you do. So it's kind of a useful tool if you wanted to figure out how to work backwards, how to solve. This is like algebra basically. except you're having Excel do all the math for you. All right, so now that's number 6. So we're moving right along here. Let's go to number 7. Go to the current rates worksheet. Let's go to current rates. Blow this guy up. And she's already created a scenario named max attendance that calculates the profit based on the maximum number of students attending each session. Add a new scenario to compare the profit with average attendance as follows. Use average attendance as a scenario name. Use B9 as the changing cells, accept the current blah, blah, blah. All right, so can I move this out of the way? So we want to add a new scenario. Where does that happen? How about here, Scenario Manager? So we click on Scenario Manager, which is under the what if analysis. And you can see now that, as I said, the max attendance has already been created. I wanted to show those numbers. I would click show. Anyway, we want to add a couple of scenarios. So what this does, actually, Scenario Manager, is you can see down here, it says maximum number of students. So we can change this to maximum or minimum or average or any other statistical formula, but we're going to just use average, and looks like minimum for right now. So in order to do that on a Mac, you're going to click on the plus sign. We want to add another one. And we're going to give a new scenario. So this is going to be for the average. We're going to type average. And B9 to F9 are the changing cells, so that's already correct. And we're going to click OK. And it says accept the current values in the range B9 to F9 as the values for the changing cells, because these cells show the average number of students per session. So we're not going to enter any new data here. We're just going to accept it. So we're just going to click OK. And now we have an average scenario. So we have a max and an average. We're going to now add a minimum. I think they're calling it. Yes.
Real quick, the scenario name is average attendance.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. So let me edit that. Thanks, Josh. Okay, again. Thank you. So max attendance, average attendance, and then we're going to add one more scenario, and this is going to be low attendance. So this is right here, number 8. Low attendance. So we're going to type the scenario name, low attendance. Attendance. And choose OK. And in this case, we're going to, we chose B9 F9 as the changing cells, but we're going to update the values because we have the maximum values here, but we don't have the low values. We're going to enter, we have to do it one by one. It's a little different here. So for the guppies, this 15 is going to become a 9. So it says, make sure you have guppy highlighted. And then where it says, please enter a value, we're going to change that 15 to 9. And choose, and go to the next one. Make sure that's stuck. Yeah, okay, then go to the next one. The seals are going to be a 5. So we're going to change that 12 to a 5. And then choose OK. Oops, sorry. Otters are going to go from a 12 to a 10. And then click on eels, and eels are going to be 6. This is the minimum number of students that we can have. And dolphins are going to be 6 as well. Now I can choose OK. So what do we just do here? So we have different scenarios. So if I click on max and click show, that was already chosen. If I chose low and chose show, you can see the students per session have gone to those numbers, right? 9, 5, 10, 6, 6. Those are the numbers that we just entered. So that's all it's doing. I think they want us to leave the show max attendance scenario values in the current rate worksheet. So we're going to go back to the max attendance, click show, and put those numbers back. That's number 9 that we just did, and we can close this. Okay, number 10. Go to the new rates worksheet. So I'm going to click on new rates. There we go. And this guy out of the way. So we're thinking about making a little bit more money, and we're going to see what happens if we propose some new rates, or maybe what happens if we maybe reduce our rates, because we just had a major pandemic and we're now figuring out maybe if we lowered our rates, you know, how much profit can we make if we lower our rates a little bit in order to get more customers. So it's just a couple of scenarios that we're going to play with here. Create a scenario summary report using the range B11 F11 as the result cells to show the average profit per session right here, depending on the rate changes. Hint, the defined name of the range B11 F11 appear in the report. What are they talking about here? All right, so I'm going to go over to my so what if, yeah. So I'm gonna go back to my data tab, go over to the what if, and choose now scenario manager. And you can see they've already created 3 scenarios, a $10 increase, a $15 increase, or that $10 decrease in order to maybe try to attract some more customers. So we are going to create a summary report. So I'm going to go down here where it says summary and click on summary. And it says the scenario summary radio button is checked. And it says the result cells are B11 to F11. That's okay. So we're going to choose okay. And now we have a summary report. So what's going on here? We have the current values were 150, et cetera. This is what it looks like if there's a $10 increase, right? Because 150 plus 10 is 160, plus 15 is a 165, or decrease is 140. So this is just showing us what our profit will be if we either increase or decrease our cells for each scenario. I think they want us to change the name of this file to new rate scenario report. So I'm going to go down to the tab. I'm going to right click on it, choose rename, and I'm just going to put in front of it new rates. New rate scenario report. That's done. You guys still with me?
Yep.
Good. All right, number 11. Louisa also wants to focus on 1 or 2 types of lessons at a time when comparing the average profit per session. Let's go back to the new rates worksheet and create another type of report as follows. So let's go back to the new rates worksheet. We're going to create another report. So create a scenario pivot table report. So we're going to go back to our data tab, and we're going to what if analysis, choose our scenario manager again. And then down at the bottom, where it says summary, we're going to choose, instead of the scenario sum, we're going to choose the scenario pivot table. So we're going to choose OK. All right, so now we have a pivot table. This should look familiar. We were doing that last week. And we're going to change the title of this to New Rates Pivot Table. So I'm going to right click on this, choose rename, get rid of scenario and just type New Rates in front of the pivot table. Rates. Oops. C, they said format cells B4 to F6 in the New Rates pivot table worksheet using the accounting number format with 0 decimal places and $sign as a symbol. Hint, depending on how you complete the substep, the number format may appear as custom. So I need to click back somewhere on here on the table to bring up my pivot table fields. Well, there's a couple different ways to do this. One, the fastest way is to just highlight everything and just go to our Home tab. Actually, we don't even need to do that. We can just right click, right click. There you go. Right click, choose Format Cells, choose Accounting, and the number of decimal places they said is 0, and choose OK. And now they're all accounting format with 0 decimal places. Now comes the solver. This is a really powerful tool. So I'll go slow because it's a little complicated because we're gonna have to type in all this information here. But once it's done, you'll see it's pretty amazing business tool. So we're gonna go to the new schedule worksheet. So let's go over to our new schedule worksheet. Where is it? I need to move over a little bit. It's the very last one here. All right, so let's see. Let's just take a look at the worksheet first so to see what's going on here. We have a schedule, and then we have profit, so how much money we can make off of this, and then we have different lesson types. So believe it or not, all this information can be integrated and linked in order to get to this one solution. How do we maximize profit, right? So right now we just got a bunch of blanks, and to me this looks like an impossible task, but you'll see with the solver we're going to be able to figure all that out. So Louisa wants to determine the number of morning and afternoon classes the club can offer to make the highest weekly profit without exceeding the maximum legal pool capacities, meeting the swim team's scheduling needs, and considering other practical conditions, using solver to find this information. Well, so this is always an issue because the pool's a public resource. You know, they want to schedule classes, and sometimes they're going to be with little kids, and sometimes they'll be with older people. Sometimes they'll have swimming. So we're trying to figure out how do we work around all that stuff in order and still maximize our profit. The real problem for pools. I know as a swimmer, you know, there's like some pools are really good at this and some are not so good at this, and probably maybe the good ones are actually using this tool. I doubt it, but maybe. So use C cell G17, which is the total weekly profit. By the way, so if I click on G17, you'll notice all over on our name box, just to remind you that we have this name box here. We have all these different names here. So all these cells have been named. So anyway, it's total weekly. This one's called total weekly profit. So if you were asked to say, go find the total weekly profit, you would go here and then check on total weekly profit and it would take you there. If I asked you to go find yield profit and clicked on that, it would take you to a different cell. Anyway, new schedule. All right, so we're on G17. Use G17 as total weekly profit as the objective cell in the solver model with the goal of determining the maximum value for that cell. So we're trying to figure out what the maximum profit is going to be. Use the range B5 to F6, which shows the number of morning and afternoon swim classes as the changing variable cells. So right now they're all set to 0, and we want to figure out how many morning classes, how many guppy classes can we have, how many seal classes can we have, right? Because you have more than one class going on at the same time in the pool. So let's highlight B5 to F6. And now we're going to do our what if analysis. So what if analysis is on the data tab over here, and we're going to use, oh, sorry, we're going to use solver. So we're going to use, sorry, I'm now Peyton is when we get to use that little tool we just added. So I'm going to click on
Under data.
Click on solver. And you should get this little tool pop up. Everyone got that?
I didn't get the solver to even pop up.
Oh, you can't. Real quick.
Sorry.
That's all right. Close this out. So you're going to have to go to, close this. Where was that again? Go to your, that's all right. So go to your Excel preferences. Choose ribbon and toolbar.
How did you get to preferences?
To get the preferences, so.
Oh, you clicked Excel.
Are you,
actually.
Are you on a?
Yeah.
You're
I'm
on a Mac.
I'm on a
Okay,
Mac.
good. All right. So click on
Got
Excel.
Preferences.
Preferences.
Okay.
And then ribbon and toolbar.
Ribbon and toolbar. Got it.
And then over here under what says customize a ribbon, you're going to go down to the developer tab, probably towards the bottom of yours.
Got it. Yeah.
Check that box.
Perfect. And save.
Then save.
All right.
And close that out. And then go to your your developer tab. And then
I see. Okay.
And then choose Excel add-ins.
Excel add-ins. Okay.
And you should have two. Yeah, so check the box for solver, and you can do analysis tool pack as well.
Perfect. All right.
And choose OK. Yep. So
now I have it. Perfect.
Awesome. Okay. So highlight B5 to F6 and then click on solver, and that brings up your solver tool. And as I said, the G17 is the objective cell. So we're going to, I guess we can just type G17. And our changing cells are B5 to F6, or you can just type B5 to F6. And now we have to add constraints, right? Because there's all kinds of constraints. So one constraint is each type of lesson is scheduled at least once in the morning and once in the afternoon, right? So we want to have one of these once in the morning, once in the afternoon. So we have to add that constraint. So we're going to click add. And the cell reference is going to be B5 to F6. So I'm just going to type B5 colon F6. And here's our arithmetic constraints. And it says at least once in the morning and once in the afternoon. So that's going to be greater than, right, or equal to 1. Right? Does that make sense? In other words, that there has to be at least 1 in each of these cells.
Oh yeah.
That's our first constraint. So it has to be, this has to be greater than, each of these has to be greater than equal to 1. That's our first constraint. And then we're going to click, is it okay or add? I forget. Yeah, okay. So click OK. And you can see now here's our first constraint. B5 to F6 is greater than or equal to 1. So now we want to add our second constraint, which is each morning and afternoon class is an integer. Okay, so we're going to click. So each one has to be an integer, not meaning that it has to be a whole number. We can't have half a class, that sort of thing. So we're just going to click add. And we're going to type again B5 colon F6. And then right here, the down arrow, it's got this greater, less than or equal to, equal, greater than or equal to, and then it's got these int, bin, and diff. Int is the integer.
First, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Did it say every morning and afternoon?
Each morning and afternoon
Okay,
classes.
perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why it's both of them. If it just said morning, it would have
Morning.
just been B5 to B6. And,
Okay.
I mean,
Perfect.
yeah, B5 to F5. Sorry.
Okay, perfect.
Instead, we have both of them.
Thank you.
All right, so both of them have to be integers. So those are, so we'll choose
What
OK.
did you include in the middle?
The integer.
Okay.
And then it automatically makes the constraint that says integer. So I'm going to choose
Thank
OK. And now we got our second constraint. So that one's done. So let's do our third one. Each type of lesson is scheduled 3 times per week or more. So that means the cell range, in this case, we want them to be 3 times per week or more. So right now, that's the cell range. So we're going to click, so it's B7 to F7, as they have it for us right here. We're going to choose add, and we're going to type B7 colon F7. And they want it to be 3 times per week or more. So what's our arithmetic? What's 3 or more? Which one do I choose?
Greater than?
Yeah, greater than or equal to. And so that number is going to be 3. So it's got to be greater than or equal to 3. So in other words, we have to have at least 3 classes of each type per week. So we're going to choose OK. And that's our third one here. And now we're going to choose this constraint. Each type of lesson is scheduled 10 times per week or less. All right, so you can't have more than 10 of these per week. So we're going to add that constraint. So we're going to click add. And again, that's B7 to F7. So we're going to type B7 colon F7. And now that's right, less than or equal to 10. Choose OK. So we got our fourth constraint here. Our fifth one is that the total number of morning classes is 10 or less. All right, we can't have more than 10 classes. So that constraint, we need to click add, is going to be G5. So I'm just going to type G5. And it's got to be 10 or less, so less than or equal to 10. And choose OK. Next one is the total number of afternoon classes is 15 or less. So I'm going to choose add. And our total afternoon, where's our total? Oh, total afternoon classes is 10 or less. That's this number here.
You said G6.
G6, right here. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's going to be G6. That has to be less than 15. We're going to type 15. Oops. Choose OK. And then the total number of classes per week is 20. So we want to have a total of 20 classes. So that means this one right here. So G7, we're going to click add, and that's going to be G7. And total, when they say is, that means equals, right?
Yep.
It depends on what your definition of is. Okay, so we're going to type 20. That's my Bill Clinton
Yeah.
impression. And then we want our swim team. So now we got our swim team involved. Man, those swim teams, they always mess everything up. All right, so we got our swim team morning classes are scheduled 6 times per week or less. So that's D21. We're going to click add.
A quick question, Professor.
Yes.
So for G7, it was just equal, correct? Or is there
Yes.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So for our swim team, it's going to be D21. So we're going to type D21, and they want it to be 6 times per week or less. So it's less than or equal to 6. And then choose OK. And we got 2 more to go here. So then we have the swim team afternoon classes have to be 8 times per week or less. So we're going to choose add again. And that's D22.
What was the last one for D21? What was the constraint? I'm sorry. The number?
It's less than, it's 6, less than or equal to 6.
Okay, thank you.
So now D22 is going to be less than or equal to 8. Choose OK. And one last one. The total number of swim team classes scheduled per week is 12 or less. That's D23, so I'm going to choose add. Oops, add. What happened? I did something. Let me close this for a second. There it is. We're going to add the constraint, so D23. And the constraint is going to be less than or equal to 12. Choose OK. Where's my
Why is
solver?
not letting me add another one? It's being weird.
Mine is too. Hit escape here. All right. So the heck happened to it? Hit escape here. Go back to my, I don't know what happened to my solver. Did you guys have this problem other than
Yes,
Harrison?
sir.
Really?
Yeah. It just like disappeared, and I couldn't add the first one, and then I clicked close, and then it closed everything. I try to click solver again, and it's not letting me. It's not showing up.
God, we were almost there. Hopefully we won't have to start over.
I didn't X out of mine yet.
Good for you. We'll figure it out. This happened to me actually this morning when I was practicing, so not to worry. I just don't remember how I got it back. I'm going to do file. Maybe if I click on a different worksheet. New schedule. Solver. Where did my solver go? Don't do this. I'm gonna try force quitting my Excel file and see if I can get things to come back. I'm gonna lose any save changes. Oh well. Bring my Excel back up. It says recover unsaved workbooks. We were able to save changes to one or more files. You want to recover it. So I'm going to choose yes. All right. So we're back on our new schedule worksheet. I'm going to go back to my data tab. Harrison, you place any bets on whether I'm going to be able to get this solver back?
Place any bets? Yeah, actually, me and my buddy, we bet on the virtual Madden now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's this website called Bleacher Report Betting, and they post fake Madden, which is like a video game, and they just put the computer versus computer and sim the two teams, and people bet on it still. So, it's kind of crazy. Peyton just texted me and told me that you have her muted, and that if you can unmute her, she can't
Oh,
talk.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, thank you. The entire time I was like, hello. Thank
Help me.
you. But Professor, my everything is gone. Like,
Oh no. How about you, Josh? Conrad, did yours mess up on you too, or are you okay?
I haven't force quit or nothing, but
oh, I
should I?
Is it not working for you?
Yeah, it's not. I try to close it. I did exactly what you did, and then it's like appearing like a highlighted cell. And other than that, like I can't really click on nothing. Yeah, I was having the same problem you are.
I wonder if I should
believe
press solve instead of doing the last one, because my whole solver parameter thing's still here.
Don't do solve yet. Yes. Wait. Let me
Maybe,
think.
honestly. I just didn't add the last one. It wouldn't let me.
Yeah, don't solve it yet because you have to change it to the simplex LP. I think it's on something else right now.
Oh yeah,
Anyway,
I found the simplex LPs right here, solving method.
and then you have to save it to cell A27, and then you press solve. So I'm going to try to catch up there. Hopefully, if not, bear with us. We'll just have to re-enter all this again. So I'm getting this. A force quit was performed, indicating you were not able to quit Microsoft Excel normally. I'm going to choose OK.
Right.
All right, and then I press solver.
How do we be able to press solver again?
Woo!
It's there. How do we press solver? Did you do the force quit thing?
No, because I was trying to get myself unmuted. So.
Well, try to force quit, and it looks like it'll come back for you.
How do you just press X?
So on, if your little Apple, you're on a Mac?
Uh-huh.
Just on your Apple, up here, you're gonna click on that Apple, and you're gonna go down to where it says force quit.
Mm-hmm.
And then find your Microsoft Excel and then choose force quit.
Okay. It says, do you want to force Microsoft Excel to quit? Force quit. And then
Yes.
it says,
So
recover work and restart Microsoft Excel. Okay.
I didn't get that, but that should work for you.
Oh, I see nothing. It says, we are able to save changes to one or more files. Do you want to recover them?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Hey, have you watched Tiger King yet? You gotta watch it, Mr. DeYoung. You have to watch it.
I keep hearing about it. What's it about?
It's about a guy who owns like an exotic animal park, and then this woman that owns an exotic animal park, and then I'm not gonna tell you the rest because it'll just ruin it. You just have to like. I thought it was stupid too, but then my mom told me to watch it, and I actually watched it, and I was like, yeah, it is still stupid, but I'm so glad I watched it. Like you have to watch it. I don't know if you ever have an extra time.
I'll have to check it out. I used to work with wild animals.
Oh,
There
okay.
is a
For what company?
long time ago. There was a place called Lion Country Safari. They're down in Irvine.
Okay, yeah.
And how's it going, Peyton?
It's all not there. It's like I have it back, like I put the solver back, but like you know how all your stuff came back on the solver.
Yeah, you'll have to re-enter it, looks like. I'm not sure why it didn't save. But anyway, going back to Harrison, so Lion Country Safari was a place where people could, it was basically like an open zoo where people could drive in their cars, and we had lions and cheetahs and elephants and all kinds of animals there. So I worked in the nursery. So I got to work with lion cubs and cheetah cubs and mountain lion cubs and
That's cool.
spider monkeys and
You'll probably
birds of prey.
you'll appreciate it more then.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Of course, Conrad has an actual Lion Country Safari in his backyard, right, Conrad?
That's right. Not lions, but all the herbivores.
Awesome.
Wait, let me take a picture of this. I can't believe it all went away. I really can't believe that.
I'm sorry.
Is there like a certain button? You always know certain buttons to click that can make it all like reappear or no? That'd be very nice.
Yeah.
But no,
Magic button.
Professor.
Not this time.
Oh,
I'm sorry. All right. Well, I can help you if you want me to. We can go back afterwards.
okay.
So let me make sure I got these all. So there should be 10 constraints. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need to add one more.
Yeah, it won't let you do another one. It's weird.
It won't. That's weird. Let me try it one more time.
Okay, how did yours work?
D20. I just clicked add,
Yeah.
and it should
I
be
might
less
have
than or equal to 12. Choose OK. There it is. Team total classes. All right. So now what we need to do is go down to where it says select a solving method, and instead of the GRG nonlinear, we're going to use the simplex linear engine. So make sure that that's chosen. And they're asking us to save the solver model to cell A27. So over here, this button where it says load save, we're going to choose, I don't know why I'm putting it L7, that's where I'm located. So we're going to just now type in A27 and choose save. And some stuff's starting to happen already. And now we can solve the model, keeping the solver solution. Basically what it's going to do is this model that we just created is going to be saved down here, like from A27 down to A30. And then choose solve. Boom. So we get this, now everything's solved, believe it or not. Right, remember all these were zeros up here. So this tells you, based on all those constraints, how many classes you can have for each of these
Solver could not
lessons.
find a feasible solution. What does that mean?
Probably something was typed in somewhere incorrectly. So what I would suggest, we're going to go, if Peyton wants, and Harris, if you want, we can just go back when we're done with all this, we can go back and redo it.
Sounds
to
good.
get it right. I don't have a problem with that. All right.
Do that as well.
Okay, good. All right, so that's number 12. By the way, on the other video that people were complaining is because I basically went from starting the solver and then skipping all the stuff that we just did and then said, and it works. They're like, what? How'd you get there? All right, so now let's go to, I think we can, you won't be able to do this one either. Number 13, which is Luisa wants to document the answer solver found. So we want to document this, including the constraints and a list of the values solver changed to solve the problem. Produce an answer report for the solver as follows. Solve the model again, this time choosing answer. Well, I'm going to quit here. And so I'm going to go back over to our solver, click on the solver, and then choose solve. And when I do that, they're going to highlight answer.
What did you highlight certain cells?
No, I just went to solver because it knows where to go. So
that objective J, like the money sign J, money sign 38. And then do we just click solve?
I didn't see anything like that. Well, all I did was I just went over, I just highlighted any random cell and I went over to the solver on the data tab and then chose
I
solve.
guess because I don't have anything inputted, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you do is you have to, this is tricky, you have to highlight answer and solve the model again, this time choosing to produce an answer report. Use a new schedule answer report as the name of the worksheet containing. So I think I just choose OK. And I should have gotten, yes, answer, right? So it popped up right next to my new schedule. It says answer report 1. And this is basically giving all the information. This is all the math that we didn't have to do in order to solve for this. So I have no idea what these mean, like not binding or binding, and what slack means. All I know is that it gives us the right answer, and we need to change the name of the tab. So we're going to change answer report 1 to, mine says answer report 1, to new schedule answer report.
Mom.
Oh God.
And that's it. So that's because the next one, it says mark the workbook as final to indicate where you're finished revising the workbook. So on a PC, you would go over to your file tab and then they have that backstage view. We don't have any of that. The closest place that we can protect and unprotect the worksheet, but we don't have any way to mark it as final. So we can't do that. So this one, if you're on a Mac, you're going to get this one wrong. You should be able to get everything else right, but you'll get this one wrong because, and it's worth 8 points. So that's it.
Professor, how did you get the solver to show up in Excel? That's why I couldn't continue.
So on solver in Excel, you go to your Excel tab up here and then choose preferences. Go to your ribbon. Go to your ribbon and down towards the bottom, you should have a developer area that's probably unchecked.
Okay.
And so check the box. And then once you're there, you can close everything out there. So then you're going to go to your, now you're going to go to your data tab. Is it data? No, developer. Your developer tab. And choose this one, this little gear icon. It says Excel add-ins.
And do I just tick both and then press OK?
Yep. Hang on one second. And then, yeah, tick off both of them and then press OK. And that will, and so now when you go to your data tab, over to the right, you should have the data analysis and the solver. I'll be right back. Okay, so that's it. So Conrad, Peyton, and Harrison, you want to go back and do the solver? And Josh, we need to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I need to do
What's going
solver
on?
as well.
You do? Okay, all right, so we'll all do that. And then Josh, if you could hang on, we'll figure out what's going on with that first set of problems that we're having.
Sounds good.
All right, so everyone has solver?
Peyton's muted again.
Oh my God, you're like permanently muted. This must be torture for you, Peyton.
Oh my God. Am I crying? Oh my God. Okay, thank you. It was torture.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
All right, so let's do this.
I keep on cause you muted us, but then someone was talking, so I muted it and then I couldn't unmute it. And it's just, I'm glad Harrison came in because thank you.
Have you ever seen, there's a video, there used to be, it's called a conference call in real life. And now it's called, I have to call in 15 minutes. We'll have to do this. Anyway, it's called a video conference call in real life. I'll have to send that out to folks because it's kind of funny.
Okay.
All right, so Josh, are you good? You have the solver showing up?
Yeah, I just don't have anything on it.
Wait, so your guys' solver came back? Because mine's gone again.
You have to do it again.
Okay, so I go to Excel, then I go to Preferences.
Mhm.
Preferences.
Then, wait, let me try to do it. I think I can do it. And then I go to Ribbon and Toolbar.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go to, now I don't remember.
So then on the right side, it says customize the ribbon, scroll down to where you find the developer box.
Oh, developer,
And then make sure the box is checked.
Yeah, okay, now it is.
And then you can just close out.
Got it.
And
all right, perfect. Thank you.
And then you choose.
Then you go to developer.
And you go to developer, Excel add-ins, and then the analysis tool pack and solver add-in. Choose OK.
Let's do it. All right.
And then when you go to your, all right. Solver's there. Okay, so I think this is on the new schedule. I'm gonna have to pull down a new worksheet real quick here, since I already solved it. Or actually, no, I think I have it down here. Demos. Close this one out. Let's try this again. So I'm gonna go to the new schedule worksheet. All right, so we're going to go to our data tab. We're going to choose solver, and oops, not that. This one here. And let's go back up here. So we're going to use G17 as the set objective, right? Because that's our, we're trying to maximize profit while working with all these different constraints. You know, we're probably renting the pool out from somebody, and that's costing us money. So we want to make sure we make as much money as possible off of our swim lessons and swim team stuff. So we're going to make the set objective is going to be G17. So we're just going to type G17, whoops, 17. And the changing cells is B5 to F6. So we're going to type B5 colon F6. And now we're going to start adding in all these constraints. So we're going to choose add. And the first one's going to be, our cell reference is B5 colon F6. And it has to be at least once in the morning and once in the afternoon. So that's greater than, we're going to choose the greater than or equal to 1. And choose OK. And
Professor,
then
I'm sorry, it was B5 colon F6?
Yes.
Okay.
Constraint was 1.
The constraint is greater than or equal to 1. Okay, good. And then each morning and afternoon class value is an integer. So the second one is going to be, again, B5 to F6, B5 colon F6 is an integer. So we're going to click on the down arrow and find that int, int, and then choose OK. Now we got that one. We're going to add our third one. So we're going to choose add, and that's this B7 to F7, so which is basically each type of lesson is scheduled 3 times per week or more. So that's B7, oops, B7 colon F7, and that's going to be greater than or equal to 3. So we're going to choose OK. And our next one is going to be each type of lesson scheduled 10 times per week or less. So B7 to F7. So we're going to click add and type B7 colon F7 is going to be, this time it's going to be less than or equal to 10. Choose add again. This time it's going to be G5 is going to be 10 or less. So it's going to be G5 less than or equal to 10. That's our 5th one. Our 6th one is going to be total number of afternoon classes is 15 or less. So we're going to choose add, and that's going to be G6. And that's going to be less than or equal to 15. And we're going to choose add again. And G7 is going to be is 20. So is
Equals.
equals 20. Is equals 20. And choose OK. And then D21 is going to be less than or equal to 6. We're going to choose add. It's going to be D21 less than or equal to 6. Okay.
Is that D21 or B21? Sorry.
D is in David.
Okay.
And then D22. So add D22 is going to be less than or equal to 8. Choose OK for that. Choose add one more time.
And it's
Not
not.
letting me add anymore.
What the heck?
Okay.
It keeps getting to that same thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
As soon as I got the D21 done, that's when it.
Let me see.
I think you're only allowed to do 9. I think that's the deal.
Well, we were able to get it by coming back. So just click.
Didn't press anything.
I'll try one more time myself. See if I get the same error.
I think it's D23 you can't put in.
I couldn't put in D21.
Well,
You know what happens? It's just hiding.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but you can't add it. You can't even type on it.
yeah, you can't.
And then it changes your set objectives to total weekly profit and changes the solver reference to absolute values.
All right, so close it out. Close it out. This must be a Mac thing.
Okay.
So
Press add and then
close it out. Yeah, find this add constraint and then hit cancel.
Okay.
And then go back to solver. And it's not working.
Now I can't even click on my solver.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's grayed out too.
What
Shoot.
the-
So we're gonna have to do our
Oh, now we got to
force quit again.
Professor, did you get to D22?
I got them all.
Wait.
I don't know what. So we're gonna force quit that, and let's try to bring it back up again.
Recover work. Yes.
Recover unsaved workbooks. I'm gonna choose yes.
It opens to some random Excel page.
So we're gonna go to schedule, and I'm gonna go to data, and then solver. Mine's gone now. Maybe this is the wrong file.
You just have to redo the whole thing again.
Well, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong file.
My solver is gone again. Like even when I force quit it, it makes me redo the whole thing to get the solver back.
Yeah, same.
So it's not going to be there for sure.
It's got to be a Mac. Mac is having a hard time. It is possible to get there. I mean, I kind of hacked my way through it. It looks like it may not work for Macs for most of you. What I would do is give it one more try, and then if that doesn't work, just email me and let me know, and I'll give you guys credit for this.
Yeah, it keeps on changing it. I can get back into it now, and then as soon as I say add, then it changes my set objectives to absolute values.
Yeah.
Change that back, and then it changes it to total maximum profit. I'm like, it doesn't even let me get into the add tab. It just kind of refreshes itself almost and changes everything.
Don't you press options? Didn't you do that last time? You pressed options and did something?
Options?
Oh.
I don't think so. But, there was that other.
Mine is I didn't touch anything.
I know, it's just, so there was another solver added. In fact, Josh had accidentally added that one in under your, I can't even get there we go. Over here under add-ins, you can go to the store and then search for solver. Oops.
It's B5 to F6, right?
Yeah. So there's a few solvers.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even add a single constraint now. Now I have no constraints.
I'm gonna see if I can get this other solver to work. If that works, I'll do like another video, and then we can go from there. Unfortunately, guys, I have to go get on another Zoom call. I have to help Roshni solve an Excel problem. So anyway, that's in 3 minutes. So I'm gonna have to end this call here. And then after that call, I'll go back and see if I can use this tool. And if it works, I'll send it out to you. If it doesn't, then don't worry about it.
Can we just submit it as it is right now, or should we just wait on it?
Why don't you wait on it so we can see if I can get this to work for you. And then if by tomorrow it's for you, Conrad, if it's not working, just turn it in. I mean, I'll send out an update later on what to do next. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay.
All right. How you guys all safe? You feeling good?
Yeah. Today's National Health Day, so you better stay safe.
It's National Health.
It is today's National or World Health Day or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah. Stay safe.
Yeah. It said that this week is supposed to be the worst week according to the LA County Health Department. So stay down.
Yeah.
And Josh,
Yeah.
do you want to reconnect later, figure out what's going on? You can show me what's on your computer, and then I can help you figure it out.
Sounds good, Professor.
I could do it either later today or tomorrow.
Sounds
whenever
good.
you want.
Just send you an email.
Yeah, just send me an email. Let me know
Awesome,
a good time
perfect.
for you.
All
All right.
Sounds
Right.
good.
Professor.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so sorry. Should I just close out of it, or because everything is still there? So what should I do with mine?
Can you save your file?
Yes, I can, but I have the solver parameters. I have all of it still there, so I don't know what to
So
do.
try to save it if you can, and then make it. It may solve part of the equation. You don't have to have all 10 constraints in order for the equation to work. So maybe you can get partway there.
Professor doesn't want to let me save.
Yeah, you'll have to do the force quit.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm just gonna email you. I'm lost.
Same.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, this is the more complicated one. It even on a PC where you don't have any Mac problems, it's still kind of a complicated one. I don't know why they give us so many parameters. They probably could have just given us 3 or 4. We would have gotten the point. I think they're just trying to show that you can just have all kinds of different parameters and you can still solve a problem. And at least unless you're on a Mac. So. Okay.
All right.
So that's it. Thanks you guys for joining.
Don't be late.
All right. Yeah, I got to jump on it. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Let's see, in my meeting here.
I have no idea what's going on.
I'm so screwed. I didn't save my file during it. I thought I was just doing once. Now I'm fucked.
I cannot remove it now. It's just stuck in the middle of my.
No, I can't save it. That's the problem.
Josh, your computer is not happening right now.
Oh my god.
We left this conversation. No, guys, it says to load, select a range, hold to save model. Conrad, do you have that?
No,
All I
Yeah.
know is I'm not going to
Pick
do
the
it.
range.
He's going to give us 100 anyways. Like,
Oh gosh, I think I just deleted everything.
No, I'm fucked. If I close it, I lose everything that I've done for the last fucking 3 hours.
Guys,
Why did I not save it? Not maybe just solve bullshit.
I was muted for the whole time too.
I feel like the longer I stay on this Excel, the more my computer breaks.
Oh my gosh. And he said, he's like, I have to leave. I'm like, what?
Thanks, Professor.
No, but last time he said he was gonna fix our the grades, and I got a 76 after being on the phone with him for 3 hours, and then he never changed it.
I haven't done